Hello everyone. Today I'm excited to share with you the incredible journey of how I and my entire family relocated from Nigeria to Canada on a work permit. But this story doesn't start with our move. It begins much earlier in a small village in Nigeria with a young boy who dared to dream big. Now, I'll picture this. A long, dusty road stretching over 15 kilometers. And two young siblings walking along it every single school day. 15 kilometers to, 15 kilometers from. That was my younger sister and me, trekking to and from school because we were too poor to afford any other means of transportation. Now, I will tell you the truth, it was tough. Our feet would ache, and sometimes the sun felt unbearable because we had to trek under the sun. Sometimes it is 40 degrees centigrade. But you know what kept us going? Dreams. Dreams of a better life, inspired by, of all things, the movie Home Alone. I think I was about 12 or 13 years when I first watched it. And something about New York, Chicago, and the snow captured our imagination. One thing that was a huge surprise was while the movies depicted the United States, our dreams were always of Canada. The snowy landscapes, the big houses, the sense of opportunity. It was a world away from our village. My sister and I would talk about it during our long walks, imagining life where we didn't have to struggle so much, where we didn't have to worry about getting home without water, or if there was going to be any food. Little did I know then that this childhood fantasy will one day become my reality. But at that young age, I was determined to travel to Canada and visit all the provinces. Life has a funny way of taking us on an unexpected journey. After school, I became a social worker. For 9 years, I dedicated myself to helping others, addressing social issues, and making a difference in my community. I will be honest with you, it was rewarding work, but that dream of Canada still lingered in the back of my mind. Then came another turning point. I realized that to make my dream a reality, I needed pilots. The tech industry was booming, offering opportunities that seemed to align with my Canadian dream. So I made a bold decision to transition from social work to software engineering. It was an easy transition. Coding, I have always loved coding, but transition to a professional coder was a whole new world far removed from my social work experience. But remember that determination that got me through those long school treks? It kicked in again. I studied hard, practiced coding day and night after work, and gradually I transformed myself into a software engineer. This career change was more than just a new job. It was a key that will eventually unlock the door to Canada. So with my new skills in hand, I began the most intense job hunt of my life. My goal was clear: find a job in Canada that will sponsor my work permit. By November 2019, on that fateful evening, she called us to give us the good news. When my wife heard my shout, she rushed in. I was a witness to an epic bout of celebration. It was
Ted, my boy, it's gonna be legend. Wait for it, dairy.
with a job offer in hand, the next step was to apply for our visas. After almost a year of delay, we received the news that we have all been waiting for. Our visas were approved. But due to the ongoing pandemic, the move wasn't as straightforward as we had hoped. Unfortunately, I made the difficult decision to move to Canada alone first. I remember I traveled on December 25th and I arrived in Canada on December 26th. Traveling during pandemic was a unique experience. Airports were really quiet, flights were limited, and there were new protocols everywhere. But despite all the challenges, I finally landed in Canada on December 26th, 2020. It was surreal. I was starting my new life, but my family wasn't with me yet. Upon arrival in Canada, I followed strict quarantine rules. I isolated myself for 2 weeks, which was tough. I was in a new country, away from my family, and couldn't even go out to explore my new surroundings. The isolation period extended into the new year. I spent New Year's Eve alone in my temporary accommodation. It was far from the celebration I had imagined, but I tried to focus on the positive. I watched fireworks from my window and video called my family. It was different, but it was the start of a new chapter. And that, my friends, is how I relocated to Canada on a work permit from Nigeria. From a young boy trekking under the hot sun to school and dreaming of snowy landscape, to a social worker turned software engineer, to finally setting food on Canadian soil, it was quite a journey. It wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't straightforward. But it was what every challenge we faced. That 13-year-old boy watching Home Alone could never have imagined when his dream would lead him. But this is just the beginning of our story. In upcoming episodes, I'll be sharing more about our experiences. I will be telling you about how I managed to rent a house in a new country without credit history, how I was able to open a bank account, how I was able to get credit card the day I finally moved my family to Canada. Oh boy. Our journey to obtaining permanent residency, the exciting process of buying our first home in Canada while we were still on work permits, and finally, how I plan to help others achieve their dreams of relocating to Canada. Thank you all for listening to my story. If you are on a similar journey, remember, persistence pays off. Keep pushing, keep dreaming, and keep moving forward. Whether you are walking a long road to school or facing 300 job interviews, every step is taking you closer to your dreams. See you in the next episode. If you need some motivations or if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will ensure that I respond to each and every one. Until next time, keep pushing.